Next, I give the floor to the representative of Sri Lanka.
At the outset, Sri Lanka welcomes Pakistan's presidency of the Security Council this month and appreciates the convening of the quarterly debate on the situation in the Middle East, including the Palestine question. We align ourselves with the statement delivered by Uganda on behalf of NAM. Sri Lanka appreciates the efforts on reaching an agreement for permanent ceasefire in Gaza. However, we express our concern at the violence in the Middle East in the recent past, particularly the relentless attacks on civilians in Gaza, which have led to an immense loss of life while further aggravating and exacerbating an already dire humanitarian situation. We call upon all parties to continue to engage in intense diplomatic efforts and sustain peace with a view to ensuring stability in the region, while adhering to the ongoing ceasefire between the concerned parties. The suffering endured by the people of Gaza and the West Bank, especially women, children, and the most vulnerable, has intensified due to the lack of access to humanitarian assistance as they continue to face severe shortages of critical supplies and services such as food, water, medicine, medical services, electricity, and fuel. The obligations under the UN Charter and under international humanitarian and human rights law must be upheld without exception by all parties. The Security Council must act with unity and resolve to bring about a permanent and unconditional ceasefire. In this context, we stress the importance of implementing all relevant Security Council resolutions. It is imperative that we end this cycle of suffering and restore dignity and protection to the Palestinian people. Our position on terrorism is crystal clear. Sri Lanka unequivocally condemns all attacks of terrorism. We have condemned the horrific attacks that took place on 7th October 2023. Sri Lanka reiterates the call for an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, the unconditional release of hostages and detainees on both sides, and uninterrupted access to humanitarian assistance for the people in Gaza. Mr. President, the international community must not lose sight of the broader goal, a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace based on the two-state solution with an independent and sovereign state of Palestine living side by side with Israel in peace and security. We also reiterate our call for full UN membership for Palestine as an expression of the international community's long overdue recognition of the Palestinian people's inalienable right to self-determination. We also reaffirm the indispensable role of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA. UNRWA must be given the financial and political support it needs to carry out their essential work. No other entity is able to do the work that they do. Mr. President, across the region, it is vital that we work to reduce tensions and prevent further destabilization. Sri Lanka emphasizes the need for restraint by all actors. We request all parties to continue engaging in diplomatic efforts to maintain peace with a view to ensuring stability in the region. The Middle East region has suffered from several conflicts over the decades and cannot afford to have any more conflicts. Mr. President, this Council has a mandate to maintain international peace and security which goes beyond mere documentation and censure. Prolonged inaction only deepens the crisis and further undermines the Council's effectiveness. Sri Lanka urges this esteemed body to act decisively to end hostilities peacefully and restore a safe and secure future for all people living in the Middle East. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Sri Lanka.